these are the two powerful openings I used to reach 1400 ELO in my chess speedrun, which ends the moment I blunder. Today, for episode 8, I have played 4 games, and first I will show you a killer idea for black against 1d4, and then my favorite aggressive opening for the white pieces. Watch until the end, because while the first 2 games are very educational, the last 2 end quickly and brutally. Let's go. First game, we play against 1d4, and I will show you what I usually play against 1d4. Okay, knight here, what's the idea? I am controlling the center by controlling the e4 square. They cannot push because that would be a free cheese macaroni. Now, I respond with a pawn in the center because my pawn is making this bishop hit to a wall, so I can keep developing my pieces. There is a very typical move that you must know in d4, d5 structures, and this pushing the c pawn. This is a very typical move. For white, this would be called Queen's Gambit. And the idea is that we give away this pawn for a while. What do we want to do is to be able to win it back later on by controlling massively the center. Now, a very typical way is to play e5, and after b4 protecting the pawn, to go with the move a5. If they protect with this pawn, I know this is hard to see, but try to visualize it. After the pawns are traded, this rook is hanging. This is a very fun idea. What usually white can do is to actually defend this pawn, the b pawn, with the other one, so that after pawn takes, everything looks still all right. That's why here I will brutal force win this pawn by giving this check. My point is I want to fight for the center. I want to take back this pawn so material is equal, and then I will go for the move e5. If you can have 2 pawns next to each other, you usually have a dream position. Why? Because actually is very simple for you to develop all the pieces in very strong squares. Now the knight is looking at this square, so I will go with my knight out. Always make sure once your queen is out that the queen has a way to go back. And now I want to go for the move e5, and I make sure that my queen has a way to go back, especially if attacked by this bishop, which is a very logical move, but my queen can just sneak back in either this way or this way. So that's all right. Perfect. They are attacking. Shortly considering also this move to attack this little pawn, but my queen wouldn't be left with perspective there. So I will go with the queen over there, back to where it was. And I had to check a tactic here. If they push this pawn, after I move my queen, they can push forward this one, attacking the knight that is protecting the pawn. You gotta see these ideas. But my idea is that my queen will slide back here on c7, simply protecting this pawn. I just saw a free cheese macaron and I can't stop myself from doing that. So I think I will. I'm just double checking that all the other pawns are protected, and I snap it. Also is a way to quickly develop my bishop, and I'm ready to castle at the very next move. Now, I can definitely take one pawn or the other, but one move could also be to simply castle and say like, hey, I will take it later. Now, do I need to delay for some reason? Well, a major reason could be that if I take this pawn, suddenly they are attacking me again, and maybe I have to move my queen again backwards, and then maybe a bishop comes here blocking my possibility to castle. So I will just castle my king, and these pawns are weak for a very long time. So I'm prioritizing development over material. And there are some situations where it's right to do so, some situations where it's wrong to do so. And I think in this case, it's a wise decision. Now the queen has protected everything, but that queen is not gonna be there for long. I can at some point come with my bishop here and X-ray the queen. If I do that, now my pawn on b7 is falling. So I have to be a little bit careful. That's why I'm thinking to play queen c7, so that the queen is back behind, protecting this pawn. I'm able to go out with my bishop. Also, potentially, I can move my knight around. So I really love this move because one very strong knight maneuver here would be also knight here and then knight there. Knight is so strong, fixing this pawn where it is and also attacking this other one. And also now, once the queen is here, this move is very powerful. And if they try, what white should try to do is to trade their weak pawns. But how do you trade this one? This one you have to go all the way up to try to trade. But of course, I don't have to accept the trade. I can just push. Now the rook is under attack, so we move it either there or here. I like the square a little bit more because I feel like this might be a good square for the other pawn. I think this is a blunder. I think this is a free cheese macaroni. So I could just take, right? But I have a very strong in-between move, which is knight here. I'm attacking the queen and my queen is looking at the bishop. Plus the knight is also attacking this pawn. To me, it seems like the only defense is to go with the queen here, but then I can take a free pawn over there. There is one move that seems very spicy. Bishop d6 attacking the queen and attacking this pawn. But my knight from there is controlling that square. So that's a brilliant move. Maybe not brilliant, but very good. Okay, everything according to the plan. Please subscribe if you also like free cheese macaroni like this one. The knight is controlling that square, so the bishop cannot go over there. And that's now a wonderful position because we are up a pawn, still have very nice control over the center. This is our dream. Two pawns next to each other. They are very, very powerful. What do we need to do still? Definitely complete the development. There is this rook and this bishop that are not doing much yet. And also one thing that you always need to do is look for tactics. I have a beautiful way to win even more material. I'm thinking at the move a5. I'm attacking this queen. And the queen needs to move by protecting the bishop. But the queen cannot go there because I take it. And if the queen comes here, I attack it one more time. And the queen has no other squares. The queen cannot go there because the knight is collecting it. So only remaining moves are some in-between moves with this bishop. But if the bishop comes here or there, I'm snapping it with the knight. So this is a very strong move, exploiting the momentum. The fact that this bishop is weak since it's in enemy territory, attacked by a piece and just protected once. So if you can somehow kick the defender away, you are winning a piece. A very common tactic, but very powerful. Very good. The queen is moving. We attack it one more time. And now we can verify that there are no squares left. Not here, not there, not here, not there. The queen cannot move in any square, also not here, to defend the bishop. So they are trying an in-between move, attacking my queen, but I can simply take it. I can simply take this bishop with my knight or with my queen. If I take it with my queen, this pawn is hanging, but it gives me a beautiful opportunity to show you that this pawn is a poison pawn. If the queen is taking there, my other rook is sliding here. And we have it. The queen is out of squares, cannot go anywhere. Attention to the B and the G pawn. To take those pawns with a queen is very dangerous because the rook can come there and suddenly you might not be able to go back home. So be careful. Sometimes you can take that pawns, but in many cases it's extremely dangerous. Okay, we win a queen. Let's try to finish off as quickly as possible. The rook is moving. I'll take even more material, attacking the rook one more time. The rook is moving to a poison square because we have another fort that wins even more material. Taking this pawn is a little bit suspicious. I can take back with the queen. Why not? This knight is still under attack and my queen is approaching the king. Another free cheese macaroni on the way. What we will try to do... Okay, they are just in giveaway mode. So we will try to do a checkmate by... Oh, we actually have a beautiful mate idea with the knight and then the kiss of death with the queen. Will they now resign?
One eternity later.
And GG's. Against any move, we can now take this pawn, the king is moving, and this is a beautiful checkmate. No blunders for this game, actually 97.3 accuracy, so the show must go on. Second game, we have the white pieces, we go with the pawn in the center, they play e5, so we go with the knight out, and I will go for the 3-knight defense, actually 4 knights. And here I like to play this very powerful move, d4, which is attacking the center immediately. What's the idea? We're attacking this pawn 2 times, so they have to do something about it. If they just defend it, they will end up in trouble. Because I can take this pawn and then I can make them lose the possibility of castling. I have never seen this move in my life. I'm checking if it's some sort of gambit. Chess.com is not giving any name, so we might assume it is a mistake. Now, usually what they are doing, if I take, they want to take here. If not, it makes no sense. If after this they move the knight, then I'm taking also another pawn. So I will go for this capture. Why? Because I'm attacking this knight and they have to take. Pushing is not really good. Knight takes was very unexpected because I have a free pawn that can be captured and I don't really understand the purpose of the move. Well, I see one idea. The knight is attacking the square, which is a very vulnerable point, so the bishop might come here attacking it a second time. But the moment I play queen takes, after queen takes, knight takes, my knight is threatening a fork, plus after bishop here, I can at the very least develop this bishop and defending my pawn, so I would have an extra pawn. So the only move that makes sense after this move is to take this knight in between move. But in that case, I want a pawn, so I can first trade the queens and then take back. Yes, my pawns here are a little bit weak, but I still have an extra pawn, so why not? Let's go for this. A pawn is a pawn. We love free cheese macaroni, so we go for this move. What is very important to calculate is that this move doesn't come with check. Because if this would be a check, I would lose my queen. So I have to take back and then my queen is unprotected. So that's a very important detail to verify. Now they are forced to do something with this knight because I'm simply attacking it. The other possibility is to trade the queens, but I really don't like this because it allows my knight to go forward, setting up a new threat, and I simply have an extra pawn in an endgame where I don't have even one weakness. So the best move, I assume, is to take this knight with the knight. Very risky move. This actually works barely, because if I take this piece, my queen is unprotected, so it's kind of tricky. Because this knight is attacked 2 times, protected once, but I can't take it. But I have a very simple yet powerful move. Bishop c4. I'm simply threatening mate. I'm humbling threatening mate. And if they try to defend it this way, then I can take a free knight, protecting bishop e9. I'm completely winning. So again, it seems like they gotta somehow trade the queens now. If they take this knight, now this is no longer possible because I'm giving checkmate. So they are trading the queens, and now the question is, do I take with the bishop or do I take with the knight? I mean, with the knight, I'm threatening a fork. What they could do is to castle long. Well, they are not even attacking my knight. So I will take with my knight. Very strong. I have an extra pawn and also quite some good development. The only thing I have to really be a little bit careful is that after long castle, the rook is attacking my knight that is just protecting by the bishop, and also the fact that this point is a little bit weak. About this knight, the only problem might be something like knight a5, attacking the bishop that is protecting the knight. But I actually have an interesting way of defending, which is bishop here. So am I thinking, should I just castle, put my king into safety? And that's exactly what I'll do. I'm going to castle my king, and I have not much to be worried about. The only piece that doesn't have still a good square is this bishop. I would love to go there, but then they're gonna take me. Okay, they are attacking my bishop. I bring it backwards. And now if they keep insisting, I will have to move my knight away. And here is a very good square because I am counter-attacking their bishop, winning a tempo. The bishop has to move again. Plus my bishop is suddenly looking down there on f7, which is another unexpected move. Now this pawn is actually a free cheese macaroni. And I think I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it with the knight, with the idea that after knight takes, I take back with the bishop, attacking the rook. Now my bishop is very strong. The rook doesn't have many squares. I have 2 extra pawns. Attention that this one is currently unprotected. And again, I will play a very simple move. Rook here, protecting the pawn. I was thinking about some moves like this one, but now my knight suddenly can come to f6, giving a fork. So I'm not sure if that rook is really placed well over there. So if I do this, they take here, I take here, they take there, they win 2 pieces for a rook. I don't want to do that. So I will have to do something about my bishop, and I will probably get it here, protecting this pawn one more time, and also having the possibility to somehow block this attack by the move bishop here. Very powerful. Now this bishop is hanging. The bishop has to move again, meaning that they blundered. Because once the bishop is moving again, my knight is sneaking here, giving a fork, and I will win material. Something didn't work out. And you know what? You always need to ask, what is their defense? A very good suggestion is, at every move, you need to think about your opponent twice. In chess, we try to think a lot about our ideas, but you become so much stronger if you're able to think about your opponent's ideas. What we need to do to win games is to be one move ahead of our opponent, to be able to understand what they want to do, prevent it, stop it, prepare already a counterattack. So you gotta think at every move, what is the idea of my opponent's latest move? Then you think about your own move, and then you think again about your opponent by asking, if I play the move I want to play, what are they gonna do? Is this going to be a problem for me, yes or no? So that's how we start to calculate a little bit more. They are defending this square with the bishop, meaning that it's time to take the bishop hanging there. I understand what is their plan. They want to take this pawn. I couldn't do anything to defend it. I won a piece for a pawn, so that's good enough. I can't take here because of this pin. But what I can do is to sacrifice my rook. I got a little bit scared by that because I didn't calculate well enough the in-between check, but my idea is to go now with a fork. So I'm basically trading material. Okay, their sacrifice of the rook here is not really good. Knight check is something that I should have calculated, but I can simply move my king away and still I win one rook. So it was a very good combination to trade a few pieces. Now I'm taking back with the pawn, upgrading the pawn, bringing it back, undoubling the pawn. The rook is looking here. Attention not to go with my rook there. I almost wanted to play that move, but knight there would be pretty much deadly. So I'll go with my king here, covering this square. This pawn is protected. The knight doesn't have a way to attack this pawn a second time, so that I can then proceed with my rook here. What is their threat? They want to play this move, winning my bishop, but I can still move my bishop away. So what I will do is rook here, attacking the knight that is protecting that pawn. So my bishop actually is gaining some extra squares. I already have actually d5 already with the bishop. Very happy to trade every time I can. I will do a trade. Now I have to protect this pawn. I have to do a sad move for a bit. I don't want to lose that pawn, so my rook is becoming passive for a few moves. What I need to do now is to get rid of this rook there. The rook on the second rank is too strong, attacking all my pawns, and I don't want to stay passive, so I gotta get rid of it. So the knight is now attacking. If the rook comes here, actually they lose the rook. The king on f3 is trapping the rook, so they have to go somewhere up on this file. Probably on d4 is a smart square attacking the knight. Now my king is sealing the deal. The rook is looking for escapes, but there is nothing to do. They're taking, I take back. Now, what we need to do is to just collect a few pawns, promote another pawn, and just win the game. We are taking, we give a check, we slide my rook here. I'm gonna take also this other pawn, and we are gonna take also this other one. And okay, it's time to, let's bring a rook here, and then the king here. And now we are gonna just push this pawn. Okay, we'll push this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, you know it better than me. This is gonna be a nice ladder checkmate. GG's. Very quick analysis. Accuracy is very good, but there were 3 misses, which is almost a blunder. But I think chess.com is a little bit drunk here. So I agree with the first one here. I could have taken that pawn actually, because after rook takes, I can take the knight back. So after all the trades, I win a pawn, plus there are lots of weaknesses on this diagonal. The king is weak, lovely position. The other 2 misses are, to be honest, sure. Like, okay, h6 is a miss because I can just give checkmate with the rook. That is just that I was trying to find a quick way to win. I was removing the pawn. Considering this a miss is, sure, whatever. Next game. I didn't expect winning this game. This is 11 free points. I guess we take it. Another one. Okay, we have the white pieces. We play e4. I mean, that is like a dream come true. Okay, we go with the knight out, and we try the 3 knights again. Usually they play bishop here, which is a mistake. But hey, my opponents are going for the right move. If they play bishop here, you can sacrifice the knight, because after knight takes, you have a fork and you win back the piece. It's a very fun move and leaves white in a clearly better position. That's why I love this opening. Now, I go for my move d4. So this video is also a chance to learn something about this opening. The right move for black is to capture the pawn. In that case, we take back with the knight. Now, many people love to trade, so they might trade here. And then once you take back with the queen, your queen is actually very powerful in the middle of the board because cannot easily be attacked by other pieces. The best move would be to develop this bishop, but not on c5. The best square would be bishop b4, because the bishop on b4 is pinning this knight that is protecting the central pawn. Okay, so they go there with the bishop. Now, I always need to consider the move e5. Why the move e5? Because I'm attacking the knight, and the knight doesn't have many squares. That's why I'm gonna take first this knight, because it was attacked now 2 times by the knight and by the bishop, and then I shall play the move e5. Always make sure that the knight cannot just sit in the center of the board, and if that is not possible, you can be very happy about it. The knight cannot go here. What is this? The knight cannot go here, cannot go there. The knight cannot go here, the queen is just farming it. And here they're just giving away a piece, but they have no attack. The knight is not even giving a check later on. So this is just a suicide mission. Yeah, and now we take another piece. We have 2 extra pieces. Sure, you want to take the queen. Oh no. But always careful when taking the g pawn, because you don't want your queen to be trapped. But I think now it's a very good example of this is just a free cheese macaroni. Wait a minute. So if we take, there is a check here. We want to shortly evaluate that. But I can just play g3, and my position is too good. Too good to be true. They will give this check, I think. But I'm just able to surround. Okay, they don't give that check. So we go with the bishop here. This is the typical move to just threaten checkmate. The rook has no squares to go. So what is left for them is to keep giving some checks. or to play queen here. But now I can already trade and I get to an endgame with huge amount of material. I will wait a little bit because this rook is not escaping anywhere, so I bring a rook here. I'm setting up an even bigger threat. I want to open up the e-file, so now they are blocking it with the bishop. If I now play any other move, they might go for the move long castle. So it's time to take this rook. And after queen takes, we take, and now we take also this pawn. I mean, we have an extra rook and an extra piece, so trades are always good. We just gotta bring everything to the game. So bring also the other rook. There we go. Maybe move the king out of the way so that the rook is already looking at this king over there. There we go. This bishop is now protected a few times, but we can try to trade it. Very important here. This was almost a small blunder because after this I can't take immediately with the rook. But what I can do is to first trade the rooks in between. And that's what we are gonna do, and then to take this bishop. So we have just a completely winning endgame. Maybe they want to play on, maybe they will resign. And GG's. This opening is too strong. Quick game review just to make sure there were no blunders. And no blunders, 96% accuracy. So the show must go on. If I can, I will play one more game with this opening. Maybe. So you also learn a new opening in this video. Knight out, attacking this, and there we go. It's not scripted, I promise. Okay, perfect. Bishop c5 is a mistake because you can sacrifice your knight, taking a pawn, and after they take back, boom, you go with a fork. Now, the best move here is a very strange move, very hard to find, bishop d6. What usually I see people play is to take with the bishop on d4, but this leaves white with a beautiful position. Why? Because the queen is attacking the knight. And if the knight is moving, oh my cheese macaroni, I'm taking this pawn, looking at the rook. Now, attention here, this is very interesting. I have played this position many times and I found the most powerful way to punish this line, and is to trade the queens. Why? Because after knight takes, my knight is sliding here. I'm threatening a fork, and the only way that looks like a defense actually loses a piece. Now the knight is pinned and there is no way to defend it. Well, there is still one way, which is king e7. But what am I going to do there? I'm going to take this pawn, attacking the rook. The rook has to move, and then the knight is sliding here. And I'm winning a piece, or maybe even more. So try to remember these moves, and make sure to remember to subscribe to the channel, because I have lots of videos. I have another nice video about this opening. I will link that at the end of this video, so you can learn even more about this. For now, we take the rook, and now we give this check. We are winning the knight, everything according to the plan. We take that knight. How? I like with the bishop, attacking the rook. And wow, GG's. 12 move, game review, 97.5% accuracy. Not bad. And I actually realized that we got to 1400 ELO by learning also a new opening. So if you want to learn more about this opening, this is the video I was talking about. This opening is... it helped me so much during my chess career, so check it out and have fun.